us people, how you doing? Hope you're okay. So as you know, it has passed my 6 months training from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai, and I thought I'd make this final video about my whole experience for what I've done so far. It's been quite a challenging time, especially with the early mornings and my ability to be able to do things has changed me a lot for the past 6 months. I have noticed a massive difference in health-wise and a number of things. So it's been a great time, great experience. I've enjoyed it a lot, and I think I want to carry on for a while, for a long time. Hopefully, trying to maybe advance to the next belt if I can. So let's talk about the whole experience at first. When I first joined, I wanted to lose weight a little bit, or quite a lot really. And I thought I'd make 6 months videos, if you remember, of every session that I do for Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now, when I initially started off with training, I wanted to just do Muay Thai because the gym that I went to, London Fight Factory, they specialize in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. However, they do have also Muay Thai, they have MMA, they have boxing, they have wrestling, and they have weightlifting as well. So, if you want to go get toned, they offer to all the students if they wanted to, which is pretty cool. So, it is great. Now, when I first joined, I like I said, I wanted to do Muay Thai, and Muay Thai was the main thing I wanted to do because I wanted to improve my flexibility, I wanted to improve my strength, and I also wanted to improve my stamina. But then I noticed the guys doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and initially I thought BJJ was like, what you do from like, that character from Tekken, the guy that used to dance, Eddie, if you remember him. Well, he used to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and when he fought, he was doing all these flips and dancing, and I thought that's what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was all about. So I just thought, this is not for me. But then when I saw the way they roll, I thought, wow, I could do that. So I bought a gi and I started doing it. For the first few weeks, I didn't enjoy it because I couldn't do the basic things. Muay Thai, I could punch, I could kick, standard stuff. But with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even roll, when you flip on the mats. So when I saw myself and my limitations, I thought, I'm going to have to do something about that. And I joined the classes for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So what I did, I did one Muay Thai and one Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu every week. And over the weeks, I got more and more into the sport, and I enjoyed it even more. So I took on myself to do more lessons, to do more classes, and I upgraded my membership to, instead of 2 lessons a week, to 3 lessons a week. And from that day on till now, I've been doing 3 lessons a week, and I've really felt a lot of difference in terms of what I've learned and what I've done so far. So let's start off with Muay Thai. Now, Muay Thai is an intense sport. It's based on rules. So when you go into the ring and you fight, you kind of, there are rules. It's not like you can't do anything you want. You could knee, you could elbow, you could kick, you could, punch. But you can't, there's a lot of things you can't do, like headbutt. You can't do that. Or you can't choke someone out, or you can't, submit someone. It's all about knockout and points, getting your opponents to lose on points. So that's one thing that I thought was okay. Like I said, I wasn't there for the fights in rings. I wasn't there to do a professional fight. I just wanted to get some stamina and strength and knowing how to increase my flexibility and getting to know how to kick properly. So after a while, I got a lot better in what I was doing. The coach Aaron, the guy that teaches Muay Thai in London Fight Factory, he's really good. So even though, now let's get this straight. before I carry on, I think I'm the worst person physically that goes to that gym. I mean, there are other people in there that are not as, overweight as I am. So the coach Aaron, he's really good. He does help a lot, even though I'm not one of the greatest people there. He does come around. He does come and speaks to me. Tells me what I'm doing wrong, even outside of the lesson. He always gives me advice, even in a private life, because I've added him to some social media like Instagram and stuff like that. He's whenever I post something, he either praises me, or if I'm putting the wrong food. So that, for example, I love to eat certain pastries and cakes and stuff like that. Who doesn't? He always comments, you're working so hard. Why are you doing that? And he tries to not only help you in the mat, off the mat. Now he's younger than me, but I think he's very mature and he's very good in terms of what he does. He knows he's fought a couple of times professionally, MMA as well, so not just Muay Thai, and he's won quite a lot of fights. He's very helpful in terms of how to get the techniques right. So he's got a lot of people that follow him in the lessons. He gives them prudent advice. So Aaron is a great coach, and I think he not only helps me when I'm doing Muay Thai, but he also helps me when I'm doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because with Jiu-Jitsu he does that as well. He's a purple belt and he's been doing it for a while, so he gives quite a lot of advice. So when it comes to kicking and punching, I think I'm getting there. My technique's still poor. I need to learn a lot. I'm trying to increase my flexibility now. How I'm doing now is a lot better than how I was doing before. Before I was terrible. I could even kick, even punching. The most basic things. There's a technique behind it, and your jabs and your hooks and your uppercuts and your all sorts of things, right? So with Aaron, he helped me a lot in terms of getting understanding of the technique, how to use it. Another thing I want to mention about the Muay Thai itself is that Muay Thai really is not about belts. It's about how many fights you do and how much you won and how many you knock out and how many you lose. So it's really based on that sort of scoring. I'm not going to pursue this professionally, and I don't think I could do it professionally, because I could try, but I think I'm too old for that right now, and I don't think I could do that. So that's Muay Thai. I very much enjoy it. I do like doing it, but my feeling has changed towards Muay Thai, and I come to that at the end of this next part, which is about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. When I first did BJJ, I found it very hard, because I thought just get to the ground, get someone in a headlock, and that's it. But no. Apparently it takes, if you train 3 times a week, you're talking about 15 years. All right, 12 to 15 years to get a black belt, depending on the gym you go to. That's a long time. Taekwondo's 3 years training twice a week. It's a long time, but I know why. Because when you go onto the mats, there are so many variations of a single move, so many outcomes of a single technique, that to know them all is going to take a long time. Now, I have upper body strength instead of lower body strength, and when I did BJJ, after like 2-3 months, I realized I'm good at this. I could proper take someone down. I could put my weight on top of him. He's in a struggle. I mean, I've noticed a lot of difference from flexibility. I've started doing BJJ. So for 6 months, I'm able to roll properly. My stamina has increased. I'm able to keep up with the different belts, although it's limited. So those guys got proper stamina. They're strong. I feel strong. They still dominate me, even white belts till today. And it's really frustrating. Being a white belt doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is really frustrating, because you learn one technique, and if you don't practice it, you forget all about it. And then when it comes to rolling or sparring with your opponent, and you want to do that technique, it's really difficult to do because he knows things that you don't know, and he could use that against you. And it's really hard to try to compete with these people. Now, how I've looked into it is that ideally what I want to do is continue with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because I enjoy it. And over the 6 months, I'm so good. Okay, no, I'm not so good. I'm okay-ish. I'm okay in terms of when I spar with different belts, I give them a little bit of challenge, and they're unable to they're able, but they find a little bit of struggle trying to dominate me. They do still, but I sparred with this white belt once, and he's been doing it for a year, and I was able to choke him out. I was doing like the arm bars, and I was doing like all sorts of things. So wow, I could have never done that 6 months ago, but now I can. So it's great. I've enjoyed it from that perspective. So I'm going to continue with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well because I feel a lot better. I could do that a lot better than I could do Muay Thai. I've gotten to a point where I want to quit Muay Thai and I want to continue with BJJ because I feel I can compete in, like, not professionally but semi-pro or even amateur level. In some of the competitions, because there's so many competitions with BJJ, so I feel I could do that. And the only thing I want to say is that with BJJ, it's possible to do because it's I feel I've got the strength. I just need to get my technique right. Over time, if I could do that, I should be alright. So we'll see how it goes. For now, I just want to learn things instead of thinking about belts, thinking about competition, because even though I want to, let's be realistic. It's all about getting the right techniques right. It's all about getting the right things done correctly. And it's really hard. It's really frustrating. As a white belt, I feel really frustrated doing it. But I enjoy it. So it's all about that. And when I roll, I'm drenched in sweat. So my gi is really thick. This is really thick gi. It gets really drenched in sweat. So I know I'm getting a good workout as well. So that's great. I think I'm still going to continue with Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because they do two different things. And I know Roger Gracie does both as well. I mean, come on. I think Roger is about my age now anyway. Maybe older, a little bit older, but he's a 10-time world champion. And yesterday, I met him. And what an experience it was. I met him and Damian Maia. Now, Roger Gracie, Hagar, I think is his nickname, he's the 10-time BJJ world champion. And Damian Maia is the UFC champion for MMA that represents BJJ. When I met them yesterday, oh my God, these guys were huge. Like, what? They're so tall. And like, I thought, yeah, these guys, I want to spar with them. I would like to have a go. No way. No way. These guys are massive. These guys are huge. They're like giants compared to and the thing is that even though these guys are tall, they're the same weight as I am. So imagine. So I'm way overweight. I need to work really hard trying to reduce my weight. Ideally, I need to go down to the 75-ish, 80-ish if I can. That's the goal. With the coaches for BJJ, there are a number of coaches. You have Luis, who owns the gym, London Fight Factory. He's a great guy. Initially, I had a problem with him because I thought he was a bit too harsh on me. I didn't understand Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like I said, I thought it was a dancing thing, but it turned out it wasn't. So I didn't know what the rules were. I never researched it. So when I went to the lessons, he was a bit harsh on me. But then after a while, he apologized. And even though he does come on sometimes strong, but I think it's because he wants the best for his students. He needs to impose discipline for the sport. And I think for the love of BJJ, he actually does care about the gym. He cares about his students, and he cares about the way he teaches as well. I mean, he's very passionate about the sport. And some of the guys that work with him as well, like you got a guy called Enrique, he's hardcore as well. I sparred with him because I felt he's a small guy, he's a bit shorter than I am, and I thought, this guy, I could take this guy, easily. No way. It was a big mistake, but I did try, and it was pretty cool to spar with him, to roll with him, because he did explain to me a lot of things, which is the great thing about this gym. Even though you're in Muay Thai or you're doing BJJ, doesn't just because the guy is a belt higher than you or got more experience, he leaves you alone. No, when you roll with someone, he tells you what your problems are, he tells you what your mistakes are, he tells you what you should be doing, and he tells you what the things to do to combat that certain thing. So, for example, a couple of times I got myself stuck in a triangle. And one of the guys was like, you keep making the same mistakes, do this and this and this. So I did that. Some other guy, he was a blue belt, he watched me roll this white belt, and after a while, he said, listen, these are your mistakes, this is what you're doing, and he pulled me over, he said, let me show you what you were doing, and he just spent like 10-15 minutes telling me what I've done wrong and what I should be doing. So every single student there, when they see you doing something that is not right, they teach you how to do it properly, which is good. So you not only learn in the mat with the coaches, you also learn in the mat with the students as well. So it's pretty cool. You got a guy called Sharpay. That's it, Sharpay. He's pictures on Tatami website he poses some gis, and he's pretty cool as well. He's very helpful and very great in terms of teaching me things, and I think they have a great team there. So I really much enjoy what they do for us as students. With any training, there are a number of things you need to consider, such as cost. So not only have to pay your membership fees, but you also have to pay things such as maybe your gis, your compressions, your belts, and other things you want to do. So in London Fight Factory, when you do Muay Thai, they offer you the gloves. So there's gloves for you to use, boxing gloves. And they're 16 ounces, they're made by twins, so they're pretty good stuff. But I went ahead and I bought my own gloves right here. These ones are 12 ounce, and I spoke to the coaches, it's fine. So we're not sparring, so you could use those. So Muay Thai and BJJ, you have to buy your gi. Yeah, I've got 3 of them. I've got blue one, I've got black one, I've got grey one. I haven't got white one yet. I have many of these rash guards, and really it's great to have a few of those because they help from getting bruises and stuff like that, so that's good. I have compression bottoms as well for the same purpose as well. I've bought a gum shield, which you definitely need, a gum shield. This is important because I've had a number of times where I've been hit in the jaw, but if it wasn't from this, I would have probably lost a tooth or something. I bought a ice bag. Someone told me once in training, he said your best friends are painkillers and ice bags. So ice bags. I've got head shield because really I don't want to get cauliflower ears, but I think it's inevitable. I just don't like wearing it, but sometimes I wear it just to stop that from happening. I've got some supports, so knee supports. You might need your ankle supports. You need your pills. So I use cod liver oil because my joints are weak. And at the beginning I had a lot of pain. Without those pills, I would have probably been on loads of pain. You need your antifungal cream because you want to step off the mat, you want to go on the mat, you want to make sure your feet doesn't get infected with anything, or if you get an infection, you want to make sure that you treat it early on so it doesn't spread, because it could cause lots of problems. It could put a lot of people out of training for a while, so you have to be careful. I bought a roller, massage roller, and seriously that's important for your back. When you come out of training, you need that to sort your back out. And I've also bought this a yoga ball. Now, to be honest with you, right, I always thought, I'm moving the camera, I always thought this is a joke. A yoga ball is a joke, but not really, because it improves your balance, and it's quite important to have It's not very expensive. You could get for one for about £7 from Amazon, and it helps a lot with your balance, with some trainings, and I've been using it quite a lot. I highly recommend these things, but there's more you could do. So there's more you could buy to improve your skills and improve the way you train. But it depends on your budget, really. I mean, I start off with 1 gi, now at level 3, and I wasn't even going to do BJJ, but now I like it more than Muay Thai. And it varies because sometimes I do well at Muay Thai, and I like that one, and I don't like BJJ because I had a rubbish week. But other times, no, I like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because I do really well and not well at Muay Thai. So it varies. I just need to keep up with the actual training in the sport, and hopefully I will get somewhere from a physical and stamina perspective, and also technique, getting it right. It's all about earning respect in gyms, and I've seen a lot of people with loads of respect because of how they train and how dedicated they are. I mean, it's good to get recognition from your team, and London Fight Factory it's not a gym where you go, you do your things and you walk out. No, it's really different. I mean, martial art gyms, they're really close. People have bonded together very closely. It feels like it's a family. The people are running together as a family, and they do things as a family, and they support each other as a family. So there's a lot of attachments in this gym anyway that I've seen, and this is the longest I've been in any gym that I've lasted. So when I went to a normal gym where you do your weights and your cardio and stuff, I never liked that. After like 2-3 months, I quit because I don't enjoy it. But this one, I've lasted 6 months solid. Every week I go. So that's something that I'm proud of as well, because I was able to survive that long. Finally, 2 inspiring stories I want to mention is I met 2 guys, one in Muay Thai, who used to be 105 kilograms. And I met another guy, he said I was 110 kilograms. 110 kilograms is a lot, and now he's 80. So both guys have lost loads of weight just by doing Muay Thai and the guy doing BJJ respectively. Now, really, I would love to go down that much. It'll be a dream come true, and I think by training, I have noticed a lot of difference since I've been training. My clothes are not as tight as they used to be. I'm a lot fitter. I feel a lot stronger. I think in a couple of months or maybe a year or 2, I might have to change my whole wardrobe because the clothes that I've got now are really baggy. So imagine what happens in a 6 to 2 year time. So I want to continue with this sport. I really hope you guys enjoyed the sessions that I've done with regards to the different days of training. I will keep an update of what I've done every 3 to 6 months. Just give you a feedback of how well I've done and how far I've got. I really hope you've enjoyed this series. Please leave a comment, subscribe, and hit that like button. And hopefully I see you in the next videos that I normally do. And take it easy. Boss.